with this first one, it's a really neat application. And I believe it was a white light scanner that captured this data, and you'll see it here in a second. So it's devices a lot like the this one right here, or this right there. Um, and if I bump over here to the next slide, you'll see that this is a really neat application where we were able to redesign a bike helmet inside of Design X. So this one's probably going to be, again, very surface heavy, just kind of showing this application of how we went about reverse engineering this design from a physical object to a scan and then creating a CAD model from it. So with that, I'll go ahead and jump over to Design X. All right, so here we go. Here is the model. You'll see that we have a cutaway of the scan only because we really only needed to model half of it, and it made it a lot easier to be able to just look at half of the model to work with it to model. So yeah, we do have the other half here, but for visualization purposes, it makes it easier to see and model what you're looking at here. So we'll go ahead and roll back and get started here. So let's start by rolling back here to the very beginning. So it looks like we started off here with selecting this back area. I can turn on the regions too. Selecting this area and fitting a surface plane. And then we'll roll forward a few. And it looks like here that we fit another surface, actually a revolve, and trim those two together. So there's going to be a lot of this trim and stitch and trim, a little bit of this, a little bit of that type situation. So there we go. We fit those and trim those all together. We'll just turn that off just so it makes it easier to see here. So let's see where they go next. Looks like we do a surface loft and a couple more trims. So you see here we selected this area and created a surface loft from it. We'll just hide the surface real quick and trim that all together. And then we do another set of fit another surface loft and trim it together. All right, so we'll just turn the surface back on. So we fit the surface along there, and extended them both out, and then we will trim it. So we trim those two together. Now let's jump forward a few here to about there. So we went ahead and filleted those, fit another surface loft, and filleted it together, filleted it together. So it's looking good so far. And then now let's jump forward a few more. So we went ahead and fit all the way down that side and trimmed and then filleted together. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and sew that is to one strip, and you can kind of see the process as we're going here. And then, yeah, so we sewed that together. Now let's see where the next few steps are. We'll go ahead and looks like we're doing some surface cylinder fits here. Okay. So we'll maybe hide that first batch to see here. Okay, so we're working on that little section there. and then we'll see there's a bunch of trims going on here. Okay, so we brought back the first strip and we trimmed in this sub-trimmed piece all together into one to kind of complete, almost complete. I think we'll probably end up doing this one right here, and then we'll be done that first section there. So rotate around, we'll just select a few more steps forward. We'll go here. All right. Just a second here. Looks like we've moved on to this section over here on the seam down the middle. So we fit some stuff here and there and trim those together. So it looks like they might go up around this way, and so we got that band around that side, and then we'll go up around this side here, and just kind of in an orderly fashion track all the way around. So it's going to be lots of fitting, trimming, stitching, sewing together. Yep, so here we go. We went ahead and fit these two. I'm going to jump forward a few more because it looks like it's just going to go this way, and it's a lot of rinse and repeat. So we'll just do those trims and fillets and see where we're at here. Yep. So you can see here, fit, trim all those together. And then I have a feeling we're going to be moving up to this section. So we'll go ahead and drop down to the next section there. And you can see here where we fit all those. So I'll just rotate it around and take a look. So we did do one thing that's a little different, is we went ahead and extruded this section, and then we fit this surface across that area. And we'll just keep going forward. Let's jump all the way down here. So now, let's just hide the mesh there for a second. We trimmed it together. So turn this on. You see that we fit all of this, trimmed it together, trim this little V shape to here, trim that to this right here. So now we're working our way around. Very cool. All right, so went ahead and blended these together. So I'll just hide that for a second. Fit here, blended it together with fillets. All of this is now blended, and fit this guy and all the way down here. So we made it all the way around, and then we're probably going to do this next extrusion right here. Oops. There we go. So trim 34 is going to be trimming all of that together with that original strip. So now we have chunked in all the way around. Very interesting here. Looks like modern art. All right, so let's go ahead and step forward. There's that extrude that we were talking about, where we extruded that shape across. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, looks good. All right, keep going. Mainly, that's just a bunch of fillets and smooths all the way around that piece there. So you see here, just turn that off. So we blended all of that together. and we will jump forward a few. So now we went ahead and let me just turn the other surface off. So now we're going to move into fitting a surface along this guy and trimming all that together. So we fit the surface and then trimmed it in here and fit this too. You see now we got two separate tool surfaces, the band around the center line edge, and then now we're moving across the middle. And then we'll take a few steps forward here. So now we'll turn this off so we can see. We fit surfaces in here, there, there, and there. And then we'll just keep jumping forward. We're going to box this all in on the inside here. Yep, so again, just toggle that off and on. And then we'll take a few steps forward. Now, we're going to go ahead and cut out some more of these holes. So it looks like we're roughing in the flat surface that comes in contact with the head. And then we're going to cut the holes in the outside here. There we go. And we'll just keep going forward, one step at a time. Okay, so trim, trim, trim. We'll just keep going forward here. Fitting more of these surfaces and trimming them together. So we built this tool, a separate piece. You see that it's trimmed all together and it's going to be booleaned away from the rest. As we keep working forward, you can kind of see where they're going there. And then we fit these pieces over here. You can see that as a separate area. So it's kind of like we're working in another row through there. All right, so let's hide some stuff so we can kind of see. Turn this off and we'll click on this trim here. You see here that we got fitting over there. We're now working our way around to the outside here. So we fit this and that and this. You see here that we're working our way now onto the outside. And we'll go down to the sew and see where that lands us. So there we go. We got all of these coming together. All of those trimmed. And if you ever want to see this, so I can just go into that sew and just edit it to show me where, what was sewn together. Okay, all of these, which I pretty much figured it was, all of these together we're sewn. And we'll just jump forward. So it is a little hard to track as you start to get deeper into this. If you aren't doing it, it's like, plus this is a massive project of fitting and trimming all of the pieces together. So we'll just keep going here. You see, now we're working our way around here. So we did these there, and now we are stepping forward. And all these fillets are a sign that stuff was trimmed together, and they're adding the fillets to it. So it's usually a good break point in a history tree. Once I see a bunch of fillets going on, it means they completed a section and they're dressing it up with the fillets. Yeah, so you'll see here that they basically designed that whole pocket that connects. And we'll just keep going here. Let's try around here. All right, so we will hit that trim. Looks like we extended this to the inside. You see that from the outside. And let's just fast forward here. That's awesome. So just turn this on. You'll see here that we've trimmed all of that together. Now let's just jump forward. So filleting all that, making progress. Let's turn this on so we can see where we're at. We've worked on all of this area now. On this monumental surface trim process here. So all these fillets were from over here, where we went and trimmed another hole. So there's one. Here is another. Trimmed all of that together. And we'll just keep it on. So this next phase has been fit all of this in here and then trim it together. And then let's zoom forward. You see there, we went ahead and filleted all that too. Phase 2, so hole 1, hole 2, hole 3. Okay, here, so now we're working on this hole, this cavity. Very difficult to see. There's lots going on here, but you'll see. We'll just kind of scroll forward and watch it all trim. Trim all of that together and keep right on moving. So turn this off and on to see. We're back over to the rear of the helmet now, as you can see here. Going up and probably going to wrap back around here. Yep. So fitting all of the surfaces along the top and then, of course, trimming them together. I think we kind of got the point now, so I will definitely, you see where we're at, we're right here in the timeline. I'll jump forward at bigger chunks just to witness the final steps here. If I see things in the history tree that I will utilize. Whenever, again, you see fillets back to back to back, it looks like they're blending something together and trimming something into the main piece. So that's usually a good sign of somewhere to jump in the history tree. So now, just turn that on, turn this off. Look at all that we got so far, all trimmed together, quite nice. And jump forward there. Okay, just a second here. Jump forward. All of that. You see here we've added a bunch more. So roughing all that in. So just rotate around here and just take a look at the inside, the outside of where we've made it so far. And then we'll just do two more. There. So we cap that all off. Still have some work to do over here. The back looks good. Looks like there's some more fillets to do. So now we're at the point of a solid and we are going to do some final trimming, it looks like. So a couple more tools they're building inside here to go ahead and cut away from the inside. And we'll just roll to the end now. And there we go. Pretty impressive there. Here's the scan data. And there it is.